Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. There's always that one person who sets fire to their own life, watches it burn, then shows up years later holding a garden hose and asking, "Can we talk?" Today on rSpace, what happens when the past tries to reignite old flames? Wife cheated on me with her ex-husband, divorced her, and married a younger woman. Now she's jealous and wrecked. I, 49 male, was married to Sophia, 51 female, for 17 years. We've got 2 daughters, Mia, 14, and Ellie, 10. 5 years back, we got divorced when she cheated on me with her ex-husband. She dated him during her college, got married right after graduating. She told me he was a deadbeat, emotionally and physically abusive, controlling as hell, didn't want to work, had no vision for the future. Said she fought tooth and nail to save that marriage, but got tired of his reckless crap and divorced him. She was single when I met her. I was 26, hustling to make my mark. Sophia was a senior employee and was assigned as my mentor. She was sharp, busting her butt and commanding respect. I found her fascinating, confident, driven, and this warm side that pulled me in. We became friends, then started dating casually for over a year. I was young, focusing on my career, but I fell hard and confessed my love. She wanted to go slow and I was cool with that. We moved in together, lived for 2 years, then got married. We bought a split-level house in the suburbs. Once we were financially stable, we had Mia and Ellie. Thought we were set for life. Family barbecues, soccer games, and the girls' giggles fill the house. Felt like we'd grow old together. 5 years ago, that dream went up in flames when she got an invite for her college reunion. She said it was without a +1, which I find odd because alumni and reunions mostly come with a +1. I wouldn't have been bothered if her ex-husband wasn't her college senior. She assured he was a history and I had nothing to worry about. When she left, I felt anxious, but then I calmed myself down. I mean, we were married for solid 17 years, had 2 gorgeous daughters, and she overall never gave me a reason to be suspicious. When she got back, I asked her if her ex-husband was also present, and she swore he wasn't. Usually I'm not a nosy or insecure guy, but this time her behavior made me doubt her. If she had said that he was there and they just exchanged pleasantries, it would have been a lot more believable. But she was acting sneaky always on her phone, brushing off questions with a fake smile, which piqued my curiosity to know what happened in that reunion. So I went to the Facebook page for her college and fished out all the pictures that everyone uploaded, tagging the event. To my luck, I found one picture of him in the background, grinning like a jerk. I showed Sophia the photo, and she fumbled, admitting she lied to avoid assumptions. Called it a white lie, said he was just there briefly and she didn't even look at him. That set off every alarm in my head. I started watching her closely. Her normal phone conversations alerted my ears. It wasn't healthy and things got bitter between us. She claimed I had changed and no longer trusted her. I'll admit I had developed trust issues, but who wouldn't? We started fighting more often as I now questioned her whenever she was late or with whom she was talking for an hour in the garage. Once we had a blowout fight over money. She wanted to pull Mia from her gifted program to save money, saying it was just extra classes. I lost it. Those classes were my baby's passion, and I was scraping by to keep them funded. The fight escalated when she called me immature and irrational. I said she was acting like a spoiled brat, controlling AF. It got ugly and I stormed off to bed. She didn't come to the bedroom. When I went outside to check, she was lying on the couch. It's her typical attitude not to share the bed when angry. Either she would sleep on the couch or in the kids' room. I came back and slept. It was around 2 a.m. and I was sleepless. Went out to fetch water. Saw the couch empty. Looked around but couldn't find her. Then I heard some whispers from downstairs. I sneaked through the staircase and caught her whispering on the phone, spilling our fight to someone. My heart sank to my boots. Was saying, "He's so immature. I miss being with a real man who can have my back and guide me." I stood there and heard all of it. I'm not the type of guy who would beat myself up and sulk. I wanted to deal with it right there, but would not without recording. My phone was in the bedroom. I climbed up to get it, and by the time I came out with the phone, she had hung up. Maybe she sensed I was awake. I still had the recorder on, flipped on the light, and screamed, "Who are you talking to?" She was startled and pale, was stammering some excuses. I snapped and asked her to show me the phone. She didn't. Tried to pin it on me for snooping on her. I told her I heard every dang bit, and I know she was talking to her ex-husband. She sighed defeatedly, and then confessed to everything. Came out that she was whoring around for over 2 months with her ex-loser. When the college announced the reunion, he texted her out of the blue asking if she would be attending. Since then, they started chatting. said it was just like old friends. When they met, he poked her for details about her married life. She claimed she didn't cheat on me until then, just a hug and kiss on the forehead, the way he always used to do. Yes, she said this. She confided in him when I started suspecting her after her return. To de-stress herself from my constant nagging, she went to meet him, and that's when he effed her. And since then, they have met multiple times, though she said it was purely talk and nothing physical. But I knew better. I grilled her further for the reason. She snapped at me that he was more mature and understanding. Sometimes she's tired of making all the decisions by herself and wants someone to lead her. I laughed, bitter as hell at the hypocrisy. She left him in the first place because he was a controlling abuser, and now she was calling me the problem for giving her the freedom. The most bizarre thing she said was, "Okay, fine. Now I'm going to cut him off and we'll start fresh. You'll come with me for a couple of counseling and understand what I need from this marriage." I laughed like a madman. Therapy my butt. Told her right there that our marriage was over. Now she needs to figure out what she's going to say to the girls about why she blew up their family. She collapsed, begging me not to tell the girls. It was so unbelievable to her that I was ending the marriage over this. She even said this. I'm not making this up. Said, "It's happened just once. He wasn't a new man touching me. You know he was my ex-husband, right? We had done it several times before I met you, so why fuss over just one more?" I didn't owe her any reason. She'd crossed the line, and that's it. For the next few days, she played the victim card, curled up in bed, skipped work, didn't eat, teary and swollen eyes. I saw through her act. Those tears were for show. She then involved her mom, who showed up, crying, begging me to think of the girls and give her another chance. I didn't flinch. Instead, I moved to the guest room and doubled down on lawyering my case. She even tried pulling the kids into it, hugging them in front of me, whispering she'd fix it. It's manipulative as hell. Our neighbor, Karen, a gossip queen, caught wind, probably from Sophia's drama, and started spreading rumors, saying I was kicking my wife out. My elder daughter came home asking why Daddy's mad at Mommy. I gave Sophia an ultimatum. Tell the girls about the divorce by Friday, or I'd tell them you cheated. She dragged it out, playing pathetic, but finally agreed. We sat them down, said we were splitting because we couldn't get along. They were gutted. The elder one clung to me, sobbing. Ellie kept asking why we couldn't stay together. It broke my heart to see them in tears. Enrolled myself and the girls in therapy, individual for me, separate for them, group for us all. The divorce was a meat grinder. Sophia initially demanded full custody, probably to play perfect mom, but I wasn't letting that happen. My lawyer pushed for joint custody, and she backed down when I hinted at her affair might come up in court. A few months into the proceedings, my elder daughter, Mia, who was 9 or 10 then, found affair partner's texts on her mom's phone, and it solved all the mysteries for them. The texts were outrageously explicit, and she was even sneaking out with him while the girls were away. She lost it. Showed it to her sister, who didn't understand a lot, but was angry as her sissy was furious. Both girls went off the rails, screaming fits, refusing to stay at their mother's, and calling her a liar. I got a panic call from them, asking to be shipped away from their mom. I immediately drove, brought them with me, tried to calm them down, but they were explosives. I had to drag them to a counselor to process it. They started living with me. They were done with their mom, especially Mia. Ellie was still civil, but kept her distance. It broke my heart to see them hurt, but I couldn't shield them from the truth forever. By the time the divorce was finalized, Sophia was acting like she was untouchable. Though we had joint custody, the girls ended up staying with me. We sold the house and divided the amount. Went 50-50 on all the other assets, savings, investments. She moved into a new apartment with her ex-husband. There was no hiding now. She said that she had the right to live her life. The fact that her daughters were hurt didn't bother her anymore. She just called them occasionally, birthdays, holidays, etc. 2 years back, I heard she moved to a different state for a better job opportunity. Knowing their history, I know she would be the one doing the heavy lifting with the finances. Anyway, their business, they deal. It wasn't easy for me either. Managing the girls solo while juggling my job was hell. I was burning out, barely sleeping. My parents stepped in, moving into my cramped apartment for a few months to help with meals and school runs. My daughters started making breakfast and took on chores like champs. We became a tight little team, turning my place into a home with their drawings on the fridge and pizza nights back in the rotation. Slowly, life came on track. Last year, I bought a new house and felt like I was ready to move on. Tried dating apps, even met a few women, but they didn't get along with the girls. 2 months ago, I met a wonderful woman, Lauren, 35 female. She's a graphic designer, funny, independent, with this spark that pulls me in. We hit it off. Late night texts, dinners, and even took her to my daughter's soccer game as a friend. The girls were warm, but I'm nervous. I mean, my daughters lost it when Sophia moved in with her ex-husband. They confessed during the therapy that it disgusts them to see their parents with other people. They felt betrayed by their mom, and I don't want them to feel the same for me. Lauren's cool with going slow, but I'm conflicted. I really like her, but how do I bring her into the girls' lives without breaking their hearts again? Any advice? I get why you're nervous. Your daughters have been through enough, and you don't want to throw another change at them. But honestly, you're not Sophia. You're not lying. You're not sneaking. You're moving carefully and with their feelings front and center. Keep doing what you're doing, OP. Let the girls know that Lauren is just a kind, steady presence. Don't label anything right away. Let it build naturally. And when the time feels right, have an honest conversation with them. They're old enough to understand the difference between someone who respects their space and someone who blew up their trust. Update 1. Thanks for the hell load of advice. I talked to the girls one night after dinner. We were just hanging out, flipping through channels, when I brought it up casually, trying not to make it a sit-down talk of any kind. I started by asking them how they feel about me dating someday. Mia didn't even blink and said, "You should get married again. You've done enough being alone." Ellie nodded. "Yeah, someone who's not fake like Mom. We like Aunt Lauren, by the way." And they both giggled. Their smirks made me blush. For so long, I've been afraid they'd feel betrayed again, but the truth is they'd grown up. They saw through what happened, processed the reality, and now they just wanted me to be happy. That moment told me they weren't just kids anymore. They were turning into young women who understood way more than I gave them credit for. That's when I slowly opened up about Lauren. Yes, we're officially a thing now. I didn't want to rush them into accepting someone new, so I shared little things. How we met, how she was initially hesitant about dating someone with baggage, especially 2 daughters. But when we talked, she saw through the mess and into who I was now. There's a 15-year age gap between us, but honestly, I don't feel it. Lauren's smart, grounded, knows when to challenge me and when to just be there. She doesn't play games, doesn't pry into the past, and never once tried to mother the girls. Instead, when they met her, she just listened. Over the last few months, they bonded. It wasn't instant, but smooth. She's great with the girls, helping them with art projects. It didn't look put on or forced, just natural. I'm looking forward to a bright future with my girls, all 3 of them. Update 2. Gosh, didn't expect to update this thread, but life's unexpected. Ex-wife reappeared in our lives. Like I mentioned, she went radio silent after the girls moved in with me, except for birthdays and obligatory holiday calls, which she missed half the time. Didn't visit them even once. The girls stopped expecting anything from her, and now, suddenly, 2 months ago, she has appeared, texting again. Calls randomly and wants to meet the girls. She found out both daughters were graduating this year, the younger one from elementary and the elder from junior high, and suddenly she wanted in. Claimed she didn't want to miss milestones. It sounded funny, but being their mother, she has the right to attend, so I let the girls decide. They agreed reluctantly. I extended the invite. She showed up with a fair partner. And man, it was awkward. He looked like a retired uncle. He's in his early 60s now, gray hair, tied in a weird half ponytail, eyes sunken, wearing a linen shirt that tried hard to scream laid-back creative type, but just looked like he got lost on his way to a poetry club. Sophia had aged too. Stress has a way of catching up. She looked tired and older. Not to brag, but I still look young. I've been hitting the gym for the last 3 years, training on my strength, getting proper sleep, and eating right. I feel stronger, more focused. Moreover, cutting off toxic people brings unmatched energy. I was with Lauren. Sophia saw us, blinked twice, and immediately scanned Lauren from head to toe. Then came the jab. "Wow, new girlfriend? She looks like your daughter. Sugar daddy much?" I didn't react. Lauren smiled and said, "Nah, I just like men who age well." Classy as ever. The girls didn't go running to their mom. They greeted her politely, posed for a photo, then stuck with me and Lauren. At the post-grad lunch, Sophia kept trying to get Ellie alone, asking weird questions. "So, is your dad serious about that woman? Does she sleep over? Do you like her more than me?" She told me all of this later, rolling her eyes. "She's acting like a jealous high schooler." Ellie wasn't wrong. Sophia started calling her more often, never the older one. I think she thinks Ellie is more malleable. Tries to guilt her. "I know I messed up, but I miss you." Or, "Tell your sister to reply at least." But the more she pushed, the more the girls pulled away. Especially when she sent a long, dramatic message saying she'd made sacrifices for them and they don't appreciate her love. They showed it to me and said, "Is she for real?" I asked them to ignore. A week after the graduation, I got an email from the school district. Apparently, Sophia had reached out trying to update the emergency contact info without talking to me or the girls. She'd listed herself and her ex-husband as the primary contacts for both kids. That set me off. I forwarded it straight to my lawyer. While we share joint custody on paper, the girls have been living with me full-time for over 5 years. Sophia wasn't involved in their school, never attended PTM, yet suddenly, she's trying to reclaim some kind of mother role on paper. I texted her, "Do not play games with the school. You barely see the girls. They don't even want to stay at your place. Stop pretending you're a full-time parent." Her reply was classic herself. "They're still my daughters. I have every right to be involved. You're turning them against me." That last part pissed me off. I didn't have to turn them against her. She did that all by herself. I told the girls what happened, and to my surprise, Mia said, "Maybe she's scared. She knows she messed up and now she's trying to win some points." They were like, "She just doesn't want people to think she abandoned us. She's doing this for herself, not us." They weren't wrong. It was image control, not love. Finally, her request was not accepted and the girls were living full-time with me. Then, last week, she sent an email seeking her right to have the girls over as per the joint custody. I didn't freak out. The girls were mature enough to decide for themselves. That's how independent I have raised them. When I showed the email, Mia shut it down instantly. "I don't want to go into that apartment. I don't want to be around him." Ellie was torn. She missed her mom, even if she didn't trust her. After some back and forth, she agreed to go for just one night, only if I picked her up the next morning. I was skeptical. I told her to call me whenever she felt uneasy. I couldn't sleep that night. Around 6 a.m., I got a text from her asking me to pick her up, early as she felt weird there. I immediately rushed, and she was standing outside with her backpack. I asked if she was okay, and she said, "Yeah, just want to leave." On the way, she told me, "They were fighting all night. He kept yelling about money. He wasn't happy that she had me over." Mom cried. I just stayed in my room. We didn't push her for more details, but later, she told Mia she didn't want to go back there again. That night, Mia came to me and said something that really hit. It was like, "We've got everything we need here. You, Lauren, are home. We don't need her drama. Why do we have to pretend to work things out? There's nothing to work on." I have conveyed to my lawyer that the girls don't want to be bothered, and he said he would send an official intimation. Meanwhile, Sophia still texts every now and then, tries to guilt trip the girls, insists she wants to fix things, but she never follows through. It's all talk. Now I know even if she wants, her ex-husband won't let her do it. About us. Lauren and I haven't rushed anything. She's slowly becoming a part of the family, not replacing anyone, just being herself. And that's more than enough. I've started looking at engagement rings. Update 3. So yeah, I married Lauren. It was a small ceremony, just us, the girls, my parents, and a few close friends. We held it all in our backyard. The girls were thrilled. They had helped Lauren pick her dress. Ellie even insisted we get matching Converse for the reception. Lauren became a part of our lives so organically, the wedding felt like a formality. It hit Sophia harder than I expected. 2 days after the wedding, Sophia texted Mia, "Wow, I guess I wasn't worth even a heads up before your dad ran off to marry a child bride." She showed the message with a shrug. "She's just bitter." I replied to her from my phone, "Yes, Lauren might look child bride in front of me. I wish I could say the same for you with your boyfriend or ex-husband, whatever you two look perfect together. You've aged very well to match his wrinkled body. And yeah, the girls don't want to be bothered, so stay away from them. You'll soon get an official intimation from my attorney." It burned her severely. Instead of backing off, she doubled down, started playing the good mother act, texting both girls daily, commenting on their social media posts, even showing up uninvited at Mia's art show at school, made a scene about how proud she was, then pulled Mia aside to whisper, "Your new stepmom has no idea what real parenting looks like." Mia told her straight, "Neither do you." That shut her down real quick. She wasn't done yet. Tried to guilt trip Ellie, which hit a new low. "I bet Lauren buys you with gifts. Does she ever tell you about her real intentions? She just married your dad for his money." I was livid, more with what Ellie texted her mother back. "Lauren's mom is more of a parent to me than you've ever been. Stop trying to poison us. It's not working." Both the girls have now blocked her and made it clear that they don't want to have any contact with their mother, at least not now. Sophia didn't take it well and said she would file for a fresh custody order. I don't know how much she would achieve as the girls are now big enough to make their decisions, so I'm relaxed. I know Sophia couldn't hide it. She was jealous that I was with someone younger and more vibrant, while she was stuck with an old hag. You never forced anything on them. You let them feel it out, and it's so clear they just want to see you happy and safe. That moment after dinner, that was your win, man. No drama, no big talk. Just trust, love, and honesty. Lauren sounds like exactly what you needed. Someone who came in without an agenda, respected the space, and earned her place in your lives. No wonder the girls warmed up to her. That kind of genuine connection, you can't fake that. The girls have drawn their own lines, not because you told them to, but because they see the difference. Let her threaten court all she wants. The girls are old enough to speak for themselves now, and they've made their feelings crystal clear. You've done your part. Let your lawyer handle the rest. What do you think? I thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.